Last appointment of the day. We're here with Michael Bernoff, where I have been countless times. One of my close friends and personal mentors helped me a lot in my life and through certain challenges and successes. So come on in.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's going on, man?
how are you?
Come on in.
Hey there, I'm Hard Money Michael, and I'm known as the king of alternate lending. If you have a deal that is hard to get done, or even if it's easy, give me a call. Let's connect. Reach out, and I'll personally call you.
Our man is Michael Bernoff. I'm the founder of the Human Communications Institute, and what I do pretty much every day of the week is I work with incredible humans like Michael and people that are peak performers, entrepreneurs, athletes, UFC fighters. And the coolest part is these are people that are already doing very, very well in life that desire to do better. The coolest thing is that people that know that there's that feeling inside like they want to unlock more, that's our game plan.
Yeah, so I think I'm like the lowest stressed I've been in probably like, I don't know, 8 to 10 years. But I'm like very healthy and focused on the health and the confidence and feeling just that vitality. That was one of the things. And I think there's just I don't know if it's an attraction, but I just, like you saw, you had a whole day in the life of me today. We went and shot house videos and hung out and bullshitted at the office, right? But we still ended up doing 6 deals, went to the gym for hour and a half, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. How is that possible? I don't know, but I enjoy it. And I think the happiness, which has come more from health and fitness, which I didn't value as much, is illuminated. I am a big believer that what you do, you will see in 90 days. So if I look at when I started this journey, it was roughly 90 days ago. And that happens every time.
Since 2003, my obsession has been neuroscience and what makes people do the things they do. So I got my start studying neurolinguistic programming, is what they called it back in the day. I invented something called human interaction technology, which is the best of the best. So I take basically what works, what affects people to make change or transformation in their life, how the words impact people. The best way I can put this is, probably the best example is, do you ever notice like you can't put your phone down? Sometimes, yeah, you ever get like online and scroll for hours? They design that stuff. So the way that they build those pages, the way that they build ads, the way Netflix does what they do, TikTok's master it. So I have parents a lot of times that say to me like, man, my kid's on TikTok. And I always say, the reason your kid likes TikTok and doesn't listen to you is mom and dad, you're boring. And TikTok's exciting. So TikTok's got movement and mom and dad are boring. They understand how your drug composition works inside of your mind. So we've got 4 main chemicals. We've got dopamine, we've got cortisol, which creates fear, dopamine excitement, we've got serotonin, which creates decision-making ability, and oxytocin, and they actually get you to fall in love with their product. So Starbucks' main goal is like, how do I get them to love Starbucks? So they take the most powerful word in the Bible, love, basically, and they basically take that word as human beings and they attach it to freaking a coffee or a little app to dance online. That's their outcome. So we could do that for good, you and I, and we go, how do I get my client to love themselves enough to buy this property? Okay, so here's, most marketing people are studying, like they want to like study Gary Vee and all that stuff, and they go online and do all this. I admire that, but here's the challenge. These guys are already famous. These guys are already doing big things. So they can tell you whatever. It works for them because they've got 800 million people on their page. Here's something you can do with your kids, with your family, with everybody that makes a difference. There are 3 very simple words that one we want to remove and the other we want to start adding to our vocabulary. One is the word think, because every time somebody says, here's something I think, or do you ever think? The second you say think and you pause, the eyes circle in the head, somebody starts to think, and you kind of lost them. They're in their head. If you replace the word think of here's something I know, and you actually come from certainty, instantly somebody's like, you know what? I agree that. So here's something I'm thinking about versus here's something I know. As soon as you say no, someone's like, dude, that guy's confident. That lady's confident. And you come from a position of, okay, I'm going to hear what they have to say. The third word is out to the think and know is here's something I'm doing now. So now you're putting into motion, action. The difference between think, know, and do is a completely different part of the brain. And it actually, one drives somebody to move and to take action. The other one makes them just go in their brain and overthink everything.
When he opens his phone, he sees the sheep.
All of us have values in life, things that actually matter to us as a person. And a lot of times we think value, we think of just money. Values are things you spend your time, energy, and money that actually are important to you, not what like, oh, I value like my kids, I value my family, like the moral set of values. Real values are things that force you to grow so you can actually truly value your family, your kids, and everything else. So
So a lot of mine were somewhat materialistic or somewhat surface level.
surface. Yeah, they were society's normal values, even your kids.
But a lot of what you said to me, you said, these are things you already have. Why don't you go get what you want.
Core values are things from the core of who you are as a person. So a core value is I value self-honesty. And if you're more honest, you'll be a better parent. If you're like, I just value my kids, what are you just like keeping them at the same rate for the rest of your life? So we should value things that force us to grow. It's been over 20 years. I've been doing this most of my life. And what's fascinating about it, a day in the life, I don't do a lot of one-on-one. A very, very, very particular. I work with tops 5 one-on-one clients a month max. So you and 4 of the people a month, that's all I do. So I'm very, very selective, just so you know. There's no, will throw at me and I'm not a cheap date. So it's not what I do. I do a lot of group stuff. So my favorite thing that I get to do every day is I get an opportunity to watch people win. I mean, I love watching winning and I love people that live a life that they're winning on a regular basis. So with Michael, I get a chance to connect, find out what he's working on, and his ideas, his goals, his dreams become mine. And this becomes, so when someone signs on for someone to do coaching or go to an event, you've got to find somebody that your goals, their dreams, like whatever the hell you want, become theirs.
One of the things that you shared, this took me really hard to get, but you're basically saying, okay, oh, I want to make more money. Of course, who the hell doesn't? So you want to make more money? Stop focusing on making more money. And I went and focused on fitness, and that maybe that's why. I don't know, because every time I made this my God, and it was controlling everything else, but now everything else is controlling the act. And it's like more well-rounded and more happier.
Think about this. Let's say you're a swimmer, right? And let's say you're an Olympic swimmer. The difference between the guy that gets a gold and the girl that gets a gold, whatever it is, and the person that gets the bronze or nothing is centimeters. You understand that, right? Mm-hmm. So if you just swim more, is that going to make you a better swimmer?
Probably not.
Definitely not. And the reason is, but if you work on endurance and you work on lung capacity and you work on strength in your arms, that's going to help. So I truly believe, now granted, you've got to get the skills down, but if you've maxed out, like I'm making $800,000 a year, $1 million a year, $5 million a year, 10, and you're doing that for years, that's your average. That's what people do. So in order to increase that, you've got to get something else. So imagine you are making $1 million a year and you're on a 10. And you start exercising, you have more energy. So everything you do has more energy. It's more amplified. Dude, imagine you got better with people. Imagine you're like, I'm making $1 million, you want to make 10. I'm going to teach you how to be influential now. So imagine you become great with people and you have more energy. What would that do for you? I'm going to dedicate a year of my life to learn marketing, right?
Right.
So if you learn marketing and you got a ton of energy and you become great with people and you become influential, then you might get 4 million, but dude, 1 in 4 is freaking, that's changeable.
Compound. But I really think that might be one of the biggest things.
Not I think, I know. And the reason we got to know it, and the reason you got to know it is because you have to own it. You have to go like, that's how that works. And when you come from a position of that's how that works, your mind goes, this guy's serious about this shit. I'm going to do it again.